Hi, do you know that mindfulness is an ancient Indian science and it can be used to transform anybody's life? The most transformative sciences, may it be NLP or psychotherapy, usually start with mindfulness. As simple as it sounds, mindfulness can be the key to awareness, be the key to understand what's really happening in your life so that you can take some powerful action. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 3 powerful NLP techniques that you can use to become more mindful, not just from the perspective of just looking at flowers and greens in the garden, but to be able to really become mindful of yourself, your thoughts, your words and actions. So stay tuned till the end of the video because I'm sharing a very unique perspective to mindfulness today. So before we begin, I want you to type in the comment section, why do you want to practice mindfulness? If you clicked on this video today, you're obviously curious about mindfulness or you're already practicing mindfulness. Why do you want to practice mindfulness? Is it because you want to manage stress? Is it because you really want clarity on your relationships? Is it because you are not able to take decisions easily? Type in the comment section so I know what you're going to use this video for. Also, very quickly before I begin, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, Shenoy Manek, do so because there are over 100 powerful videos on neuro-linguistic programming, hypnosis, and other sciences with which you can start learning how you can deal with your life and transform it very, very quickly. So moving ahead to technique number 1, the NLP technique of metacognition. Now be aware, I am telling you techniques that I share in my workshops. Of course, we do this in a much more extensive way and you'll actually experience, you will go through these techniques when you go through a workshop. However, right now I'm going to just quickly give you a gist of these 3 techniques. The first one, metacognition, means thinking about thinking. Interesting, isn't it? Usually most people are in a very existential state, which means that things are happening to them and they're reacting to anything that's happening to them. They aren't really aware of every thought, every word, every action that they're taking. And that is the reason most people do not have that much control over their reactions. Mindfulness as a concept teaches you of how you can think about, become aware of every single thought. We call this concept the third order of thought, which means that you become the kind of person who not only is doing the thinking, but also is aware of your thinking, which is second level of thought. And third order of thought is you're constantly appreciating yourself that you're aware about your thinking. As complicated as it sounds, when you reach this place, when you reach the third order of thought, you stay in a peaceful state because you no longer have to react to anything that is happening around you and you can choose to respond, right? Now, I'm going to make separate videos detailing out each of these techniques and how you can practice them. The second powerful NLP technique with which you can practice mindfulness and you can make it a part of your life is known as NLP mental strategies. Now, what are mental strategies? Has it ever occurred to you that sometimes when something happens, we just tend to react out of proportion? What has happened has nothing to do with the reaction that we have given. Sometimes the person on the other end is like, what's wrong with you? Why are you reacting so much? Nothing has really happened. But in our mind, it's big. And that thought, whatever happens in the head leads to all kinds of actions that we regret later on. And like, why did I do this? Has that happened to you? If it's happened to you, comment yes in the comment section. Trust me, if you're a human, that has happened to you. Now, NLP mental strategies is a way with which you can figure out the formula that you are doing in your head. Whenever something happens in our life, we tend to build a story about what is actually happening. That may not be the reality. Many a times it is not the reality because we are not really, that aware that we are able to see everything. Our human mind does not have the capacity to capture everything that's happening around us. If you learn about the conscious subconscious mind, you'll realize that out of the millions of bits of information, we are able to hardly take in 2 to 3% of what's happening. So it's likely that we're deleting a lot of things, we're failing to see a lot of things. So we tend to cook up stories. He came home late means that he doesn't respect me. She did not give me what I want means that she doesn't like me. My boss is making my life difficult. That means that he likes my peer. Right? We're constantly cooking stories in our head. I have a lot of respect for people and their thoughts. I think everybody's going through their own struggle and it's nothing to laugh about. But it's also a reality that everyone cooks stories. The NLP mental strategies, this concept, beautiful concept, allows you to become mindful of the formulas, which means what are you seeing in your mind's eye? What are you saying to yourself? And what sensations are you feeling within your body? And how are you doing this formula within yourself that's leading you to take that give that reaction that you regret later on? And how can you take a longer time, decode that formula in your mind's eye and respond instead of react? That is the NLP mental strategies technique. Again, I'm telling you, I'm going to make detailed videos. So subscribe to my channel, Shenoy Manek, if you haven't done so already, because I'm going to be coming up with many, many more NLP techniques in the near future. The third technique is known as submodalities. Submodalities is more of a distinction. What is submodalities? When we were children, right? How did we learn? We used to learn everything in an animated way, isn't it? We used to touch and feel and experience and use the body. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. That's how we learned. We didn't sit in a place with no, enrichments around us. But today we live in a life where we like go, 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 go. And we don't really notice things about what's happening within ourselves and outside ourselves. Imagine when you're in a treadmill or you're in a Formula One car and you're going vroom. You don't have the inclination to notice things. Submodalities are the qualities of things around us. Let me give you an example. Okay, I've got this little plant with me, right? Now, the submodalities of this plant, if you were to really be mindful and notice it, is that it's small, it's green in color, it's glossy, it feels very nice and rubbery, velvety kind of a feel to it, it's cold, and it kind of smells really nice, right? These are some of the submodalities. So you have visual submodalities. This is not making any noise, so there are no auditory submodalities, and there are a lot of kinesthetic or touch submodalities to this. So when I start noticing submodalities of things, whether it's on the outside or it's a picture in my mind's eye, I start becoming more mindful of what's happening within me as a person. Does that make sense? If you are feeling certain experiences within your body, I'm sure you would have noticed that all feelings or emotions are nothing but sensations within the body. They are a reaction to a thought or a mental strategy that you've done. All these emotions have submodalities. Sometimes it feels like something heavy in the stomach. Sometimes it feels like something rotating within you. Sometimes it feels like something dark within you. Sometimes people who feel low or depressed feel like there's a cloud on top of them. Sometimes when life is difficult, you might feel that there's so much weight on your shoulders. When you become aware of these submodalities of things you see in your mind's eye, of the thoughts or the voices that you're hearing in your head, or you become aware of submodalities within your body, it becomes easier for you to make changes and lighten yourself up and start living the way you really want to live. If you are not aware, if you're not mindful of these submodalities, then we just have to be the victim of what's happening around us. Does that make sense? So these three powerful NLP strategies, the first one, metacognition, learning to think about thinking, understanding the voices in your head and really changing your reaction to response. Second is metacognition, is mental strategies, which is you understand what formula are you doing, what stories are you cooking, and detail of that formula so that you can change it to a response. And finally, submodalities, which is the qualities of the pictures or the visuals or the auditory or the sensations within your body with which you can notice and you can change. Now, you would have realized that usually people, when they speak about mindfulness, they are just talking about just going to the garden and touching and feeling things. But that's not where mindfulness stops. You cannot just simply be looking here and there and doing nothing and calling that mindfulness. Mindfulness is an art. Mindfulness needs to be learned. And thankfully for me and you and I, NLP comes to the rescue with so many different powerful techniques with which we can put mindfulness and use it practically within our life. If you have enjoyed this video and you are curious about the science of NLP, you may want to become a part of one of our NLP practitioner workshops. I conduct live online workshops, and it's very easy for anybody in any part of the world to become a part of my workshop. It's a transformative experience. Like I've always said to you all, NLP can be learned in a very technical way where you're just talking about techniques like they're medicines, but they are not. That's not how it works. You got to learn it in a holistic way. You got to learn it inside out. You got to become more aware, more mindful, figure out what's happening, go through a powerful process, and in the meantime learn NLP so that you can in the future also manage your mind, your body, your actions, your success. Make sense? So feel free to get in touch with my team at any point in time. And I'm also curious to know, what would you want me to make my future videos on? I have made videos, hundreds of videos on so many different NLP techniques and so many different topics. And I am curious to know what I have missed out. I really want you to give me topic suggestions. So please comment in the section below. What topic would you want me to make videos on in the future? And do hit the like button if you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me today. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel, Shenoy Manek, and follow me on Instagram again, Shenoy Manek NLP. And I'm going to see you all in another video very soon. Be happy, be mindful, be powerful. See you all soon.